Breaking this morning as we hit 100 days from the 2024 election, the Harris campaign just announced that it raised, oh my goodness, $200 million since President Biden endorsed Vice President Harris last Sunday. Now, the campaign says about 2/3 of those donors are giving for the first time. They've also seen a spike in volunteers with more than 170,000 signing up in just the last week. Last night, Harris spoke about this grassroots enthusiasm at a fundraiser in Massachusetts.
We're the underdogs in this race. But this is a people power campaign. And we have momentum. The day after I announced my candidacy, we saw the best 24 hours of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. Since then, in battleground states, people have been flooding our offices around the country to volunteer.
Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign has done what no other campaign has ever done before, and it's scaring Trump and Republicans.
Joining me now, Christina Simpson Ramirez, president of Next Gen America, who we're glad to welcome back to the show. So give me your sense of the vice president's appeal. What's it all about to these young voters?
Well, first off, I want to say those numbers are freaking out Republicans because she is so popular with young voters. And in 2022, when young people came out in record numbers, they came out so favorably for Democrats, they canceled out the Republican boomer vote. She is like fire online.
In the span of a week, I don't think anyone could have anticipated the sheer volume of donations, volunteers, and energy that her candidacy has sparked. You could hear it in the very first rally that she held in Milwaukee.
America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back. Not going back. We're not going back.
She's right, we are not going back. We've had enough of Donald Trump and his weird fascist party. It's why we voted him out of the White House in 2020 and why we will keep him out of the White House in 2024. There is a movement happening right now and the GOP is not ready for it. Just to put this into perspective, hours after Biden's announcement, more than 44,000 women joined a Zoom call for Black women supporters, raising $2 million for Harris's campaign. There was also a call with Black men that drew over 50,000 people and raised more than $1.5 million for her campaign. And there were other calls organized for South Asian women, LGBTQ+, Latinas, Native women, and more. The momentum of Harris's campaign quickly broke the internet, or rather, broke Zoom. The White Women for Kamala call had nearly 200,000 people meeting on Zoom and raised more than $11 million for her campaign. There were so many participants that the meeting crashed several times and Zoom had to bring in extra engineers to figure out how to handle more people. This is not some flash in the pan moment. On Act Blue, more than $252 million was raised during the first week following her announcement. She had endorsements from Democratic leaders from across the country, and then at the end of the week, the Obamas endorsed.
Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi, you're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
We all knew the Obamas were going to endorse Harris, and I honestly think it was done strategically. Announce on a Friday and then continue that momentum into the weekend and then week 2. Think of it like this. If you threw a big rock into a pond, it would make a big splash followed by some ripples and then settle. But if you dropped in multiple rocks at different times, it would keep the ripples going to bounce off each other and create new movement. That is what we saw in the first week, from Harris's announcement to endorsements to the Zoom calls to the Obamas to a campaign event at the Villages. Yes, as in the Villages in Florida, the deep, deep red retirement community. Do I think Florida will turn blue in 2024? Probably not, but it is certainly in play. This surge of activity is freaking Republicans out, especially Donald Trump. Seriously, he is so scared of losing the election that he is running away from debating Harris.
Many of you have been asking me about the debate, and I'll tell you, I'm ready to debate Donald Trump. I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready. And I think the Voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
And then, within hours of Harris saying, okay, let's debate, Trump's team sent this. Given the continued political chaos surrounding crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, general election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. There is a strong sense by many in the Democrat Party, namely Barack Hussein Obama, that Kamala Harris is a Marxist fraud who cannot beat President Trump, and they are still holding out for someone better. Well, that excuse doesn't work anymore because remember, the Obamas endorsed Harris. Also, Donald Trump and Joe Biden were the presumptive nominees when they agreed to the debate. And when they have to resort to using Obama's full name as an insult and calling Harris a Marxist, you know they're shitting in their diapers, but also shitting the bed when it comes to their campaign. I just hope they change their sheets, but knowing how gross and weird MAGA is, they're probably into that kind of thing. And speaking of sheets, I want to thank today's sponsor, Miracle Made. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and feel as nice if not nicer than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe to try Miracle Sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Gabe at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe and use the code Gabe to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Gabe to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now, Trump says that he's not scared of Harris, and MAGA says that Trump is tough, but he doesn't seem to want to debate her. I mean, hasn't MAGA been screaming that Harris is nothing more than a DEI hire?
She would be the queen of DEI if she were elected. She is DEI.
Are you suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI hire.
She does not speak well. She does not work hard.
All right, so Kellyanne, let me ask you.
And she should not be the standard bearer for the party.
Apparently, they feel, or a lot of Democrats feel, they have to stick with her because of her ethnic background.
Ooh. If I could leap through the TV, I would. Amisha, you go first.
I mean, you're talking about a woman who was a district attorney. You're talking about a woman who was an attorney general, a U.S. senator, and a vice president.
Elected by the people.
Elected by the people. And we're talking about California, the largest state in America, the largest state that has an economy larger than many countries, mind you.
Right.
So I think that the whole argument that she is not qualified, that she is somehow a DEI hire, and we've seen this time and time again. This isn't the first time that DEI has been brought up to dismantle someone's successes. We saw it with Claudine Gay, the first Black president of Harvard University. We've seen it used against others as well. It's very frustrating because it diminishes the role and the task that it takes to get to where they are, but also the entire history. And I think that at this point, we knew it was coming. I don't think there's a single Black woman in America who did not know that this was coming. Kamala Harris as well. None of her sorority sisters, definitely. But to walk in a Black body as a Black woman in this country means to be faced with the intersection of racism and misogyny. That's not surprising.
Right.
What is surprising is that what you heard from the Speaker of the House when he had to call in other Republicans to basically, quiet them, calm it. Y'all can be racist, but just not as loud as you're being.
Republicans have been screaming every racist and sexist insult under the sun, while also saying that Trump would crush Harris in a debate. Well, if that's the case, then it should be pretty easy, right? Unless, of course, Donald Trump is scared.
Pussy ass bitch.
For Trump, there is nothing more humiliating than losing to a woman, specifically losing to an accomplished and successful woman of color. If he never debates her, then he doesn't have to deal with the losing, so he's trying to do whatever he can to get out of the debate. I mean, am I wrong? The convicted felon/sexual predator is scared of the prosecutor.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums.
She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Grab him by the...
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump.
Trump and the GOP are fighting a war on multiple fronts. You've got Harris making historic strides in support and fundraising. Trump is cowardly running away from Harris. And now his choice of VP JD Vance is single-handedly destroying their campaign. Seriously, JD Vance might be the worst VP pick of all time. And now his anti-woman rhetoric is bringing down their ticket.
Look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
Women are now speaking up and taking issue with his comments, like Jennifer Aniston.
Aniston responded on Instagram saying, quote, "I truly can't believe this is coming from a potential VP of the United States. All I can say is, Mr. Vance, I pray that your daughter is fortunate enough to bear children of her own one day. I hope she will not need to turn to IVF as a second option because you are trying to take that away from her too." Now, Jennifer Aniston is one of countless women across this country who is open about struggling with fertility and underwent IVF.
And instead of apologizing, Vance doubled down on his beliefs that women are nothing more than breeding machines.
I've got nothing against cats. I've got nothing against dogs. I've got one dog. People are focusing so much on the sarcasm and not on the substance of what I actually said. And the substance of what I said, Megan, I'm sorry, it's true. It is true that we become anti-family. It is true that the left has become anti-child. But the simple point that I made is that having children, becoming a father, becoming a mother, I really do think it changes your perspective in a pretty profound way. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family and anti-child. A lot of liberals and a lot of people on the left will say, well, we can just replace American children with immigrants.
I don't know who's in charge of PR for the Trump campaign, but whoever you are, you're killing it. And by it, I mean your campaign. Please, guys, keep it up. You're doing great. And most importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, keep being creepy and weird.
Listen to the guy. He's talking about Hannibal Lecter and shocking sharks and just whatever crazy thing pops into his mind. And I thought we just give him way too much credit. And I think one of the things is when you just ratchet down some of the the scariness or whatever and just name it what it is. I got to tell you, Jake, my observation on this is: have you ever seen the guy laugh? That seems very weird to me that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior. And I don't think you call it anything else. It is simply what we're observing.
Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. What Was That is made possible by viewers like you. And if you'd like to support the show and help us grow, you can contribute to my Patreon at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. Thank you for your support. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?